So you decided to start a corporation. Congratulations. I started mine 20 years ago and have no regrets. I'm Mike Hill with Trenton Consulting, and we're going to do a 3-part video series to help you get incorporated. Step 1 is to select a name. It's probably the most important one for your brand identity and your ongoing business. Step 2, we're going to teach you how to choose a corporate type. And step 3 will actually step you through the process of going to one state in setting up a corporation. So follow me now as we begin this process. When you've selected or narrowed it down to 2 or 3 names that you want to begin to look at sites to make sure your name is unique and we can incorporate under that name. So what I'm going to do is go to my state, the Georgia Secretary of State site, and we're going to do some name searches based on those names that you've looked at. You'll go to your state site and do a similar process. This is the landing page for the corporate division of the Georgia State Secretary of State office, and I'm looking for a section on your state's page and my state's page called Business Search, and I would select that. Once I do, it'll bring up a search area. Each state will be a little bit unique as it is with the software. Now I've pre-entered a name here. I want to show you examples of when you select a name that is unique, how that turns out, and one that is not so unique that we need to do further research. So I've started with just a silly name, the XYZ Corporation. Sounds silly, but let's do the actual search. Now notice, and this is just the state of Georgia, how many businesses start with XYZ company. And so we know that this is not really a good name for us to choose. We're going to have a hard time with domains. We're going to have a hard time with branding, creating a unique identity for your company. So now I've already done this in advance. So I selected a name that I knew was kind of unique. And we're going to go through the same exercise with a name that I've picked called the Ginormous Corporation. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there's a couple of different tricks you can use to pick a name. One is a phonetic spelling for a name that's popular to you or important to you or valuable to you, something meaningful, and just go with the phonetic spelling that's different than the actual dictionary name. In this case, ginormous is normally spelled G-I-N, and I've spelled it G-Y-N. I'm going to do a search in the Georgia Secretary of State site, and I'm going to look up the Ginormous Corporation. And fortunately, this notice right in the middle of the page says no data found. That's a great start. That's what I wanted to see, is that my name that I've identified was unique. Well, we're not done yet, though. We need to do some other searches to make sure that the name we've identified is still unique. Now remember, I'm only looking in the Secretary of State site for the state of Georgia. So that name we would like to be unique in a wider area than just Georgia or our state. Now you may only do business in your state, but let's presume that we're going to grow one day. And we would do business in multiple states. So let's do a general internet search. I'm going to the standard Google search engine, and I've typed my name Ginormous, to see what it looks like nationally. So I'm going to hit return. And the first thing it asked me is, did I mean G-I-N normous? But I'm really not seeing any businesses under Ginormous. Now, I do see here Ginormous pictures. I'm going to go to the next page. And there are just not many selections under Ginormous. And so that gives me some more confidence that I picked a name that can be unique for my company. Well, let's continue our search. Now, we've done the Secretary of State site. We've done a general internet search. The last thing we want to do is do a search for a unique domain name. Now, I've gone to Google Domains, and I've typed our company name that we've identified, Ginormous, And we want to see if we're able to use that name in a domain. I'm going to hit return, and I see right away that .com is taken. I could do some work and see if we could find that, but it says it's unavailable. But I can get .net, .org, .info, .us, and several other choices down below. So again, it's building my confidence that I have selected a name that will work. So that's all we want to do in selecting a name. So in the next two videos, so we can actually incorporate, we're going to select a corporation type, and we're going to actually incorporate a business. So look for us in the next video. Well, that's it. That's all you have to do to select a name for your company. Now, if you want to learn more, you can read more in my book, The Extraordinary Business. You can go to our website, TrentonConsulting.com, or contact me directly at info@teamtrenton.com. Look forward to our next video where we describe more detail on how to select the right corporation for you. Thanks for joining, and until next time, this is Mike from Trenton Consulting.